The FAA reportedly ordered staff to find millions of dollars to fund the Starlink deal. Intel delayed its Ohio chip fabrication facilities again. And Instagram alternative Flashes is now available for iPhones. It's Monday, March 3rd, and this is Engadget News. According to Rolling Stone, employees with the Federal Aviation Administration were told on Friday to begin finding tens of millions of dollars for a Starlink deal after the Washington Post reported that the FAA may cancel its $2.4 billion contract with Verizon to overhaul the U.S.'s airspace management systems and go with Elon Musk's company instead. Whether the FAA has actually dropped its Verizon deal in favor of Starlink has yet to be confirmed publicly. Anonymous sources told Rolling Stone that the orders from FAA officials on Friday were delivered verbally to staff in an unusual move. It comes a few days after Musk claimed on social media that the situation around air traffic control communications is extremely dire, saying the existing system, which he wrongly attributed to Verizon before later adding a correction, is breaking down very rapidly. He went on to say that Starlink terminals are being sent at no cost to the taxpayer on an emergency basis to restore air traffic control connectivity. Bloomberg, citing sources close to the matter, previously reported that 4,000 Starlink terminals were being sent to help upgrade the FAA's networks, which the FAA confirmed. In a statement posted on social media in response last week, the FAA claimed it's been considering the use of Starlink since the prior administration. As recently as Wednesday, though, the FAA said in statements to the Washington Post and other publications that it had not made a decision about its Verizon deal. The agency is one of many that has been hit by layoffs, led by Musk's Doge over the last few weeks, with hundreds of FAA employees fired in February. Intel announced that it's further delaying plans to open 2 chip fabrication facilities in Ohio, pushing their completion out to 2030. The company originally announced its plans for Ohio back in 2022, with an ambitious opening set for 2025. Intel says it completed the basement level of its Ohio 1 project last quarter, which allows above-ground construction to get underway now. The $20 billion project is technically split across 2 different chip fabs, dubbed Mod 1 and Mod 2, which will not be completed at the same time. Mod 1 is now set to open in 2030 to align the start of production of our fabs with the needs of our business and broader market demand, according to Intel. Mod 2 will be completed the following year in 2031. The justification is financial. Intel says it's taking a prudent approach that will ensure the chip fabs are completely in a financially responsible manner. Intel previously told the state of Ohio that it was delaying the fabs until 2027. It also delayed the groundbreaking of the project, seemingly to incentivize the passing of the CHIPS Act in 2022, and that's according to a report from the Washington Post. More delays add to what's been a tumultuous period for Intel as a company. In December, former CEO Pat Gelsinger was pushed out, likely because he was not pulling off Intel's aggressive plans to expand chip production. Prior to that, the funding the company was set to receive through the CHIPS Act was reduced by $600 million. Add in layoffs and the continued dominance of chip makers like AMD, and Intel remains in a tricky spot. Anyone looking for an alternative to Instagram might have a suitable candidate in Flashes, a recently launched app built on Blue Sky that seems to get all the important basics right. Flashes technically launched on the App Store on February 24th, but a series of updates released in the days after launch have made the app much easier to recommend. If you remember an Instagram before Meta turned it into its Facebook replacement, you have the basic gist of what Flashes is. It's an app for sharing photos and videos with Some Blue Sky flavored wrinkles, like multiple custom feeds to choose from instead of Meta's algorithm driven default option. Flashes is really an image and video focused version of Blue Sky. That comes with some annoying drawbacks. If you get a lot of Blue Sky notifications, you'll now get them twice, once in the Blue Sky app and once in Flashes. If you delete your account from one app, it will also be deleted from the other. Building a more customizable, portable version of social media that doesn't lock you into one platform is a big part of Blue Sky's goal with the AT protocol and what apps like Mastodon and Threads are trying to do with ActivityPub. It's not clear if one standard is going to become the default, but Blue Sky has been picking up momentum. The app hit 20 million users in November of last year, prompting a dramatic expansion to its moderation efforts, and then passed 30 million users in January. Flash's design means all of those new Blue Sky accounts are potential Flashes users, too. Thanks for listening. There's more to these stories and more tech news at Engadget.com. This episode featured journalism from Cheyenne McDonald and Ian Carlos Campbell, and was voiced and produced from the sound studios of Spoken Layer. Enjoy your day, and I'll be back tomorrow with more tech news from Engadget.